Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about Cemetery Man from 1994, or its other title, Della Morte Dell'Amore. I absolutely love this film. I rented this film. Remember that when we actually had to go down to a video store, look at titles, walk around, go, I don't know. This box looks interesting, but then, the box always looks great, but the movie's always shit. These kind of things. I miss those days. Yeah, I have Netflix and all this other stuff, but I do miss going down, renting a movie, and looking back at the part of the video store that had all like streamers and door blocks hanging down where the dirty films were. And standing there and staring every fool that came walking out of there trying to look like, went in the wrong place for 20 minutes. Where's that Lassie movie I was looking for? Staring them down going, perv. Back to Cemetery Man. Cemetery Man to me is all kinds of movies wrapped up in one. It's a bit of a love story. It's a bit of zombie movie. It's a bit of foolhardy youth, reckless youth, devil-may-care attitude. The movie stars Rupert Everett as Francesco Della Morte. He's an engineer of a cemetery. He's the caretaker for a cemetery. And his assistant, Noggy, who's played by Francois Lazaro, probably the best casting ever, by the way. They live at the cemetery and kind of live a very lame existence. Noggy's very happy to live downstairs, being a glutton, and just do the manual labor, dig the graves, move stuff around, rake the leaves. And he doesn't communicate. He kind of goes, That's the extent of Noggy's communication for the most part. He expresses a lot of things with his face and just his physical actions. Francesco, on the other hand, says he has a degree in biology, but still running a cemetery was the only job he could get. And he kind of does his thing. He's got it down. I am a former dead hospitality employee. I used to work. A little look into Mike Zombie's past. I used to work as a first call driver for, I won't say the company, a mortuary transportation company in Orange County, California. Then I worked for a local mortuary here in town because I just got tired of being on call 24 hours a day and just picking up dead bodies all over the place. And the money really was surprisingly poor for the job I had to do, for all the brains I had to scrape up. And I did. It was a neat job for a guy who was into zombie movies and horror movies to see the physical mechanics of how the body works and how we think we're so tough and so strong, but we're really so easily disassembled and pretty damn permanent when we are. So I've been in the same industry that Francesco is in, and he's got the look down, man. He's got the kind of not laundered well black suit, the 5 o'clock shadow that's kind of permanent, and the mussed up hair. And I mean, Rupert's a very tall guy. He's like 6'4", 6'5" anyway, so he's very lanky. But he's kind of just putting around the cemetery in the town doing his thing, and he's caught up in the humdrum of his job. It, like any other job, even picking up dead bodies, folks, and scraping up brains, I promise you, becomes like any other job if you do it long enough. Yeah, you understand when you need to smile and when you need to be quiet and all that stuff, but it's just like any other warehouse job in the end. And he's reached that point. He's kind of going through the motions and blah, blah, blah. But the addition to this is not, he's going through these motions and kind of relaxed. But there's zombies walking around. I'm going to cut to the chase. The roots from the plants in this cemetery tends to bring the dead people back 7 days after they've been buried. So he's well accustomed to shooting these people in the head, and he knows when he buries a person, you know what? They're going to come back. He's got a gun on his table ready to go, and Noggy is used to digging the grave again, putting the body back in, and burying it again. So by chance, he meets Anna Falchi, and if you don't know who Anna Falchi is, you better pause this podcast and go Google. She is a beautiful Italian model and actress and, I guess, television star over in Italy. I don't watch much Italian TV. I watch a little. She's there burying her husband, and Francesco just finds her so incredibly beautiful that he's immediately obsessed with her. She comes to visit her husband all the time, and he's very clumsy about trying to get to know her and flirt with her, and trips over all of the, politeness he should have had for her. But he falls in love. And she wants nothing to do with him until he mentions there's a beautiful ossuary underneath. And she apparently is a fan of bone piles, so they go down and see it. And immediately she's turned on. They kind of kiss a little bit. She says, no, 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 runs back to her husband's grave. And sure enough, they're going to get it on the husband's grave because she doesn't want to hide it from him. Well, he comes back from the dead, bites her, attacks her, and she dies. So Francesco, a guy we've come to like, he kills the husband by driving a giant cross into his skull. And now he's suddenly lost and forlorn. He's very upset. I finally found a woman I love, and she gets killed. So he arranges with the bumbling Keystone Cop Police Department just to bury her there. She had no family. And he sits and waits as she rises from the dead and says, kiss me, my love. And he shoots her in the head because, she's a zombie, and that's just creepy. So he buries her, and guess what? She comes back to life again because she wasn't really dead the first time, and he actually killed his true love. So now he's all fucked up in the head, rightfully so. So the movie goes on, and more people die, and people in town die, pertinent people, business people, town leaders, mayor, so forth. People are dying all over the place, and he's killing them left and right because they keep coming back. And the new mayor shows up, and who should his assistant be but Anna Falchi again? But it's not her, but it really is her, but it's a different character. And he falls in love with her. And I'm just going to cut to it. The movie at that point is pretty much him meeting the same woman physically, but a different character, a different personality, meeting her, wanting her, realizing it's not the same, and losing her over and over and over. I really liked it. The gore was pretty good. The action was pretty decent. The dark humor in it really, really rang my bell. I loved the dark humor in this movie. And it's kind of off-the-cuff, incidental kind of comments that Francesco makes that I really enjoyed. I'm not going to spoil the movie, but late in the movie, he's in the hospital visiting a friend who is now kind of a foe in a weird way, and he's gonna kill this guy. And a nun comes in and says, "You can't do that." And he says, "Really?" And boom, shoots the nun right in the head and kills her. And the nun's laying there on the ground, all shot in the head, surprisingly, right? And somebody comes in and goes, "Oh my God, what is she doing?" And he just goes, "Oh, she's praying." She's praying. It's fine. A lot of black humor that I really enjoyed. And by black humor, I don't mean soul plane. I mean like dark, dark humor. So anyway, it's a love story. We get to know him really well, and we feel bad for him. We get to really like Noggy. Noggy's a weird sloth creep, but there's something sweet about him. It's kind of weird. And you can't go wrong with Anna Falchi topless and naked in this movie. You really can't, I'm going to say. But it is a love story, as I said. A story of love and loss and, coming to grip with one's own mundane existence and the choices we should have made and making the wrong choice and how it affects us for the rest of our lives. And trying to run, especially at the end of the movie when they just try to run away from everything, and they run to the end of the earth for all intents and purposes. And Noggy finally speaks. He says, "Take me home, please." You've probably seen it because this is a fairly popular movie, but watch it again. You know what? Watch it under both titles, Cemetery Man and Della Morte dell'Amore, which would mean, of course, of death and of love. That's my review for this week. I don't know what I got going on next week. I got a whole bunch of stuff I'm kind of looking at here. And have a good week. See ya.